I'm 28 years FC, I'm still a kid. You already know referee Chiraq, get up, that's okay,
to the money guys, rest in peace, T.Y.M.B.
Dro City was always together, and even though they may not have been one big happy family, they still managed to keep down tension and not go to war. It wasn't until 2011 when a guy named Blink, who's a TYMB affiliate, ended up shooting a guy from Saw Block. Blink would end up having car trouble a couple days later, and he would end up being killed at a gas station, and another guy would end up being shot with him. This would spark the war between T.Y.M.B. and Saw Block. Ronald Moore testified that on June 7th, 2011, he and his younger brother Rondell Moore drove into a BP gas station at the corner of Stony Island and Marquette on the south side of Chicago. Rondell was having car trouble. He put up the car's hood, and a local mechanic, Quincy Woolard, arrived on his bike and was helping Rondell with his car's engine. Ronald stayed in the back seat. Ronald saw a black Lexus pull into the gas station parking lot from Marquette. Ronald had seen the car on Cottage Grove a few days before and recognized the driver from the neighborhood of 65th and Minerva. Though Ronald did not know the driver's name, the Lexus drove around the station office until Ronald could not see it. Ronald then heard a number of gunshots, more than 5. Ronald looked out the passenger side window and saw Harris shooting a chrome handgun at Rondell. Ronald recognized Harris from the Minerva neighborhood, but did not know his name. Harris was only a few feet away from Ronald during the shooting. Rondell ran, hopped over a fence along the gas station's property, and went toward the parking lot of Chase Bank, situated next door to the gas station. Harris continued shooting as Rondell fled. Ronald was unable to leave the car through the passenger side door, so he scooted across the seat toward the driver's side. Harris was still shooting at Woolard and suddenly pointed the gun at Ronald and pulled the trigger. Ronald heard a click, but the gun did not fire. Harris then ran towards Stony Island. Ronald got out of the car, chased Harris a few feet, and turned to find his brother. Meanwhile, the Lexus drove through the Chase Bank parking lot, and Ronald could only see one person, the driver. When the police arrived, Ronald heard a message over a police radio that the Lexus had been found at a Walgreens drugstore across the street from the Chase Bank. Ronald ran to the Walgreens and recognized the Lexus. He told the police that the driver killed Rondell. Darian Harris, or King Chucky, would be caught and charged with the murder of Blink, and he would also be charged with aggravated battery for shooting the old man Quincy Woolard that was helping Blink work on the car. Allegedly, King Chucky was dropped off, got out of the car, walked up, and started letting loose. He was given 76 years in prison. King Chucky is now going through an appeal because one of the main witnesses on the case was legally blind. The argument is that the witness couldn't have seen what he thought he seen. That same year, a well-loved BNC member that went by the name of Snow or Snowboy ended up being killed by accident by a guy from Mack Creek that went by the name of Big T. Big T ended up killing Snow, shooting at a guy that went by the name of Chico for some personal beef. With all of this going on, Mack Creek and Saw Block would end up clicking up, and Snow Block and T.Y.M.B, they would click up. Now Dro City would go back and forth with itself. The death of Obama meant the beginning of a new war, and Kenny Mack was the primary target. A homicide was reported at about 6:40 p.m. on the 6500 block of South Drexel Avenue, police said this evening. The victim, Reginald Smith, 24, was pronounced dead at the scene, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's office. The man was walking on the street when another person walked up to him, pulled out a gun, and began firing at the man, hitting him several times in the chest. The man was found lying in the hallway of a building. Kenny Mack would end up being killed a year later in retaliation.
Shout outs to the Kush man, Shout out to the perp, man. I be smoking that shit, and shit just keep me burping. That's how you know when the weed is the best. When you inhale the shit, you feel it right up in your chest.
2013, which was a year that seen 414 murders, with 80% of those murders coming by gun violence, was actually the following year after JoJo was killed. The drill scene was becoming famous nationwide, and dissing each other's dead homies was becoming a big thing. Plus, there were wars all over the city, with more wars starting every day. You had a bunch of youngsters with drugs, money, and guns. Now, they were dissing each other on the internet and in music. Blood will continue to spill in the city of Chicago. At the time, T.Y.M.B was very much clicked up with O-Block, 600, Lamron, but there will be an incident that will happen in 2013 that will kind of separate them. Mind you, T.Y.M.B was also around when OTF was started, around 2013, before all of the backdooring became prevalent. Cliques used to ride together all of the time. They used to party together, and they used to do dirt together. It was like they were actually a part of the same gang once they were clicked up. As the years would go on, petty beefs and differences would cause these teams to split up. T.Y.M.B and Lamron were very close until the situation happened with a guy that went by the name of Pluto.
TYMB, them is for my young money guys.
A man was killed and 3 other people injured when a vehicle hit a light pole and a tree in the Peel Hill neighborhood earlier today. The driver in the crash died following the accident in the 1800 block of East 93rd Street near Constance Avenue about 5:10 a.m., said the Chicago police. Dead was Patrick Walker, 22, of the 700 block of East 68th Street, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. He was pronounced dead at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oakland. Men ages 30 and 22 were being treated at Christ Medical Center where their conditions were stabilized, while another man, aged 26, was expected to be treated and released from the same hospital. Alcohol was suspected as a factor in the crash, but a determination was pending further investigation. The vehicle in the accident was seen heading east on 93rd at a high speed when it crossed the center line, hit an unoccupied parked car at the north curb of 93rd, then a light pole and a tree. Initially, it was thought by the police that the accident was due to alcoholism. According to the police, Pluto was supposed to have been drunk, but when the autopsy reports came back, it showed that Pluto died from initially being shot in the head. Charges were upgraded against a Southside man after prosecutors claimed he shot a motorist before a deadly crash last year in the Calumet Heights neighborhood. Ivory Issam was a passenger in a vehicle that crashed near East 93rd Street in South Constance about 5:10 a.m. November 29, 2013, authorities said. Police said the vehicle was speeding east on 93rd Street when it veered into the oncoming lane, then crashed into a parked vehicle, light pole, and tree. The driver, 22-year-old Patrick Walker of the 700 block of East 68th Street, died hours later at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oakland, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Issam and 2 other passengers were injured in the crash and taken to Christ Medical Center for treatment. Emergency crews found Issam with a loaded handgun, and he was initially charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, possession of ammunition without a valid FOID card, and possession of a laser sight accessory. Issam, 23, was initially ordered held on a $50,000 bond, but charges were upgraded this week to involuntary manslaughter. Police initially said that alcohol may have been a factor in the crash, but on Saturday, prosecutors said that an autopsy determined Walker died in part from being shot, and the death was ruled a homicide. The Illinois State Police Crime Lab determined that Issam, who was in the back seat, had gunshot residue on his sweatshirt after the crash. On Saturday, Judge Adam Burgos raised Issam's bond to $750,000 and ordered him to be in court on Monday. Initially, the streets were saying that Ivory killed Pluto because he was in the back seat playing with a gun, but that wasn't true. Ivory's killing Pluto was a case of friendly fire. They were riding, and some guys pulled up on the side of them and began to shoot. Ivory, trying to protect him and his friends, would end up shooting back. In the process, he would accidentally hit Pluto. Pluto would wreck the car. Some people say that T.Y.M.B backdoored Pluto, but you have to think. You have to really use your brain. Why would someone shoot someone in the back of the head that's driving? Ivory almost lost his life as well. The police would come back and charge Ivory with involuntary manslaughter, but the charges would be dropped, mainly because the family of Pluto didn't want Ivory to be charged with it because they knew it was an accident, and they knew that Ivory was actually trying to protect Pluto and that Ivory loved Pluto, and also because when the ballistics came back, they found other bullets, which proved that they were being shot at. This really hurt Ivory and T.Y.M.B. Pluto was damn near T.Y.M.B, and he was one of the most loved BDs that was in the city around the time that he died. Every BD loves Pluto. No one would want to see him dead. Lamron didn't take this well, and Dirk was sent a diss shortly after this happened, saying that Pluto would have still been alive if he wasn't hanging with strangers, when surely T.Y.M.B wasn't strangers. This would cause friction between Lamron and T.Y.M.B, and eventually they would stop fucking with each other.
Man, bang, bang. Real shit, man. My squad, man. 300 shit, man.
There was also a situation that took place in 2015 between O Block and T.Y.M.B. At the time, T.Y.M.B had like 3 apartments in O Block, and they were very cool with O Block. Well, Boss Top had some guns that he had T.Y.M.B to hold for him. A T.Y.M.B member would come and get some of the guns thinking that they were T.Y.M.B's, but the whole time they were O Blocks. When Boss Top would come try to get the guns, they would be gone. He would go ballistic. He would break into 2 apartments and catch 2 home invasions. He would later be let go. The police had evidence against him because they seen him on camera putting on the mask, and also the women who lived in the apartments called the police. Boss Top would sit in jail for about 2 years, but all the charges would be dropped and Boss Top would come home. He would even get his guns back, but there would still be a bad taste in the mouth of O Block, and their relationship would never quite be the same again. You also had the situation with 051 and T.Y.M.B. 051 and T.Y.M.B have never really been enemies. They've just always hung with each other's enemies. But one thing that tied them together was blood. By T.Y.M.B, Courtney, and Cortez being cousins with Wu and Melly, also being kin to Kurt Mack, that's where the relationship came in. At Kurt Mack's funeral, they would take a picture throwing up the Y's, and a lot of members will start screaming high Y for both sides. The only problem with this is there can be no clicking up with Lamron, 300, O Block, and 600 because 051 is an arch enemy to all of those sets. This will cause great confusion. It would also cause somewhat of an internal split between T.Y.M.B, as one half will still be cool with 051 and the other half will still be cool with O Block, 600, and Lamron. Not to mention, you also had a power struggle. Seats were being given away, and Lamron and T.Y.M.B both had guys that had the potential to be the next guy. Lamron didn't want it to be T.Y.M.B. Well, of course, they separated T.Y.M.B, and a lot of rumors will begin to spread about T.Y.M.B and how they were snakes, and they were always into something, and they weren't to be trusted. And the messed up part about it, not T.Y.M.B or Lamron would get the seat. Another well-known member that went by the name of Kess would be killed in 2014. Allegedly, Kess was on his porch drying some of his clothes when somebody creeped from up under his porch and shot him, killing him. This is one of those situations to where a lot of people don't really know who was the cause of Kess's death, but 800 claims the body the most. Marquise Darling died after being shot in the West Englewood community Friday afternoon. Darling, 19, was shot in the abdomen, buttocks, and thigh in the 1600 block of West 61st Street about 2 p.m. Friday. Residents found Darling lying on the ground and called 911. Darling, who lived on the block, was taken to Advent Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he died at 6:16 p.m. Saturday, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Nobody has been charged for the murder. After the murder of Kesey, T.Y.M.B would adopt the name KKK, or the King Kesey Clan, in his honor. Another well-loved member that went by the name of T.Y.M.B Little was killed in 2015. T.Y.M.B Little was a savage, but he stayed fly, and he stayed messing with the ladies. He actually caught a body and beat it, but he did time for a robbery.
A lot of niggas steady getting knocked off because they too fucking friendly and they doing too much. Niggas want to hang with everybody. Then you got shooters trying to get money. You got getting money, niggas trying to play the shooters. You got the car cracker acting like they gang bang. Niggas doing too much, acting too friendly.
Little was actually one of the best rappers in T.Y.M.B, and he also had the star power and the talent to get big.
If Money was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. If Kess was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. T.Y. was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. OBs was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. If Pac was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. Pluto was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. Lil Keith was here, bitch, he'll be bustin'. 4M was here, bitch, they'll be bustin'.
Little would end up being killed on the west side, which is where he lived at the time. Kevin Nichols was shot to death while standing on a porch in Austin on Monday night. Nichols, 25, was standing on the porch with a female in the 400 block of North Lawler about 9:35 p.m. when another male walked up and shot him in the chest, according to police and the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Nichols, who lived on the same block, was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 10:21 p.m.
Man, you know what it is, man. T.Y.M.B, FGMG, man.
Another well-loved member that went by the name of Cushman would be killed at a party on Drexel. Cushman would take some guns from some members from Mack Creek. This wouldn't go well. They would be extremely mad about this situation, but they would lay low. They would end up running into Cushman and some of his friends at a party. As soon as Mack Creek would notice that Cushman was in the party, they would walk in and cut the lights off and start shooting. 2 men were killed and a woman was wounded at a house party early on February 25th, 2017 in the 6500 block of South Drexel Avenue. 2 men killed at a house party in Woodlawn were the 100th and 101st homicide victims in Chicago so far this year, according to data maintained by the Chicago Tribune. Samantha Head got a call from her brother, Samuel's girlfriend, about 1 a.m. Saturday. The woman was hysterical. "I got shot in the leg and Sam is laid out," he recalled her. Samuel Head, 38, his girlfriend, 29, and Lance Jefferson, 20, were at a house party in the 6500 block of South Drexel Avenue when someone inside opened fire, hitting all 3. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office released Jefferson's last name as Jefferson's, but public records indicate it was Jefferson. He was shot in the chest, Jefferson in the face and torso. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. The woman was grazed in the thigh and taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. No one said anything to the police, but the streets knew exactly who did it. Big T was the name everybody was saying in the streets. He would end up being killed a year later in retaliation for the death of Cushman. That would make 2 beloved members gone because of Big T. And there was a lot of people that didn't like that and wanted to see Big T gone. A man was shot to death Friday morning in the Park Manor neighborhood on the south side. Terrell D. Martin, 26, was shot about 9:50 a.m. when someone got out of a vehicle in the 7000 block of South Vincennes, fired shots, and then drove off, according to the Chicago Police and Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Martin suffered gunshot wounds to his legs, face, and torso. He was taken to Stroger Hospital, where he's pronounced dead at 10:32 p.m. He lived in the South Chicago neighborhood.
What you doing? What's up right now, man? Rock Creek, man, ENT, man. I got my man T, man. Just one of the guys, man. Put in much work, man. We get them niggas, man. We getting it for Papa, man. Right now, let's get it.
Lil James, or Big Riff, was also one of the well-loved members. He was one of the T.Y.M.B young members, or TPG, which stands for Tyree Pipe Gang. Now the story goes, Lil James was supposed to have something to do with the death of Can't Get Right. He's also rumored to have did something to a guy from STL that went by the name of T.Y. And this is actually supposed to have happened on T.Y. Day of 2018. Lil James would end up being killed a couple months later. Kirk Ball, who was the brother of T.Y. and a Day One T.Y. member, ended up being killed in an incident that took place in Danville, Illinois. This happened October of 2020. A late Thursday morning shooting has left one man dead and another with a gunshot wound to the leg. Champaign County Coroner Dwayne Northrup announced Friday morning that Donnell Gardner, 30, of Chicago, was pronounced dead at 4:47 p.m. Thursday at Carl Foundation Hospital in Urbana. Danville police reported that at 11:37 Thursday, officers responded to the 1200 block of Garden Drive in reference to a report of multiple shots fired. Upon arrival, officers located a 28-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his leg. The victim was transported to an area hospital and was listed in stable condition. While investigating the scene, officers learned that a second victim with the gunshot wound had arrived at the OCF emergency room. Officers responded to the emergency room and learned that the second victim is a 30-year-old Danville man who was listed in critical condition with a gunshot wound to his chest. The initial investigation revealed that there was an argument between several individuals in the 1200 block of Garden Drive, and during that argument, several shots were fired. Investigators are still attempting to locate witnesses and no suspect information is currently available. Investigation into these incidents continues. T.Y.M.B. Manny, also known as Murder Manny, the T.Y.M.B. Demon, one of the wildest guys out of T.Y.M.B. Him and Little would get together and they would tear the city up. Manny is part of the reason why T.Y.M.B's reputation got so big so quick. Manny was also the reason why Lil B from EBT, who used to be a Y back in the day, was banned from T.Y.M.B. because allegedly he snitched on Manny. Manny is currently locked up on an armed habitual.
I got no feeling, no, I got no love. No, I didn't do it, boy, I had on gloves.
Money Man, who lost his brother T.Y. at the age of around 13 or 14, has been in it since the beginning. Money Man is also a Black Stone.
Just pop a pill, go on and drill with a couple of modes that's down to kill free, bro.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Shout out to one of my niggas, Bang Bang Gang. What happened to Michael?
Money Man has kind of been the face of T.Y.M.B., especially for these last couple of years. He was also one of the first ones to start doing rap music in T.Y.M.B. Him and Jyrowski definitely don't get enough credit, but they were the ones that actually started going in with Obama. And Money Man would make sure that his brother T.Y. and his homie Obama will live on forever through his music.
Rest in peace, T.Y., that was with Big Bro. And I'm still screaming, fuck the other side. That been away since Obama died. How I for bro T.Y. Disrespect T.Y. and that's how a nigga die.
Courtney and Cortez, or the twins, known as close relatives to T.Y. and also cousins to Melly and Wu, have a treacherous reputation in the streets. These guys have never rapped or been in any music videos, but they've been known to be affiliated with a lot of real members. Cortez, back in the day, used to always be seen with GBE. Courtney, throughout these years, have been mostly going back and forth to jail. He said that a lot of the stuff that he does is for his guys. And even though that he may not want to, he still has that much love for his guys that he's gonna do it anyway. The twins are like the main link between T.Y.M.B. and 051 because of their blood relations on both sides.
Trying to get stop playing with Shorty. Oh wow. Stop playing with Shorty.
Hey, I know who big y'all DM telling y'all all the information though. It be Mimo. I already know. Since Mimo be telling folks, I ain't killed Tuka. I was locked up when Tuka got killed. Don't call me no fucking Tuka Slayer. I don't claim bodies I ain't commit. I don't beat these. Folks, start dropping the rates. Damn. See, then my fans, they go come, oh, y'all GDK, y'all biddies, y'all stones.
GDK,
man. T.Y.M.B. is the Mercer Fruits gang. Man, shut up, dumb dummies. Everybody know what the fuck going on.
T.Y.M.B. Drilly is another member that has been around since the start of T.Y.M.B. Eric Kelso is another beloved member that has been with T.Y.M.B. since the beginning. He's also one of the first ones to jump off the porch when it comes to the music and the streets. He caught a case a while back and is currently on house arrest.
Box full of Dutchess, could smelling real musty, the bag stick. Hold on, take this clip with you, that's what this and rip get you. Heard these niggas talking to the feds, that's a big issue.
Kelso, president, I'm running this bitch. Got Glocks, get pop, have a son in this bitch.
Let's get it. T.Y.M.B, man. Grove City, man. We out here, man.
T.Y.M.B. Fefe is another known member. He was known as a blockhead, somebody that played the block a lot. He also went to jail a lot. He did music, and here of lately, he's been back in that mode of working on his music. His name has also been brought up in some real street shit that I can't talk about. Let's just say that Fefe is known for drilling. He's also known for getting money and keeping it on him. Fefe is also known as the funny guy because of his personality, and he's connected. There's not a lot of people that come from his side that don't fuck with him.
And T.Y.M.B, man. Y'all know how we rocking, man. T.Y.M.B shit. Grove City, y'all know how the fuck we rocking. Fuck all the odds, man. We out here, man. Stay on the block, man. Never lacking, man. You hear me? On phone them great, we out here. 065, what I be? T.Y.M.B, you can catch with me. Yeah, I'm out here though, man. Roy, what's up, my boy? I'm out here though. What y'all on? I ain't got shit but $1, guy. Oh, my grandma, I got $1 on me. Huh? I got like $1 on me. What y'all on?
You got 5. Come on, let me go, man.
Game on me, y'all.
Let me go. You finna go get Hoodie out?
Yeah, I'm finna get him out. Yo, we out here, man. How I shit. D-Tay, what's up, my boy? How I shit, man. Grove City, man. Y'all know how the fuck we rockin', man. Who is these niggas at the store? On cut. Who is them? You know them folks? Yeah, who is that? You know them? Fuck, get real busy on TY. Quit.
Rocky pounds take me down cause you know I need the crown.
Face is another well-known member. He's also part of that big family. Face is looked at as a money getter and one of the big guys on the block. He's been around since the beginning as well.
Y'all know how we rock, man. Eastside crazy, man. Grove City, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Get in tune, man. All my niggas out here getting that, man. Shout out to my motherfucking nigga Face, man. Y'all know I be getting that out here, man. On TY.M.B, man. Get it, man.
Zero is another well-known member that's well-connected, and he also has a lot of ties in the streets. Zero is one of the... Plus, Zero is hands down one of the best artists in TYMB. Zero really has bars. Some other notable members that used to be TYMB are King Samson, Lil Varney, and Black Gay Benzo. They were all wise at one point of time.
Drop, for Obama they owe. Fuck killing 2, that was bro, we need 4.
It was Young Money on 65th and Maryland. That was the only Young Money motherfuckers knew about. And they was Young Money off of, from far as I know, this everything I'm speaking is to my knowledge. It was Young Money from, you know, the Cash Money, Lil Wayne Young Money. You feel what I'm saying? All folks know I was on Wayne, but folks know was on Wayne so hard. I'm talking about word from word, bar to bar, Lil Wayne. That's what gave folks them the Young Money shit. And they, you know, they was like
TYMB is still very active to this day. And it's kind of like, with all of the BDs, everybody's had that opportunity to blow up except for them. TYMB also has been producing some pretty good music. So make sure that y'all go over there and check them out. Shout out to TYMB and shout out to the SNTV gang. Rest in peace to all of the fallen members. It's your boy, SNTV.